This is episode 62 of the VR Gaming Podcast. I'm Justin /mame-fan, and I'm here with Alex /virtual insider. Hey Alex, what's
Hello.
going on?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good. We were just trying to get our audio straight because I know there have been some audio issues for a while, and hopefully in this
It's my
one...
microphone. Yeah, my microphone's been sounding really bad for some reason when we record through Discord, even though it doesn't sound like bad normally. So I don't know. There's some weird things going on. So we're trying something different. Hopefully the mic will sound better in this recording.
Yeah. So enough of that. Let's get to the games. So what's the biggest game released this month? Do you think it's the Midnight Walk?
Midnight Walk. Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
So he and I both bought the Midnight Walk because in Steam you can't really share your games anymore. This is Gamertag's video. You can't really share, or you can borrow games. I saw a borrow button. Have you ever tried that?
No, they've changed the family sharing thing. I don't know how it works, but I think like if you're on the same kind of like IP country area thing,
Yeah.
I just don't think it works anymore. But it's a shame because we're both cheap and it meant that we could share each other's games. But now we have to buy every game each.
Yeah. So I usually like to buy games, but when it's a game that I'm not sure about, that's when I'll play, his instead. And a lot of times I'll end up liking it and then I'll buy it. Just like to support the developer, and also so I don't have to deal with the whole hassle of like, we used to pull out our Ethernet cords out of our computers so that Steam wouldn't know that we're like, playing a game at the same time type of thing. But now I can't do that anymore.
Yeah. No.
So this game on sale, I think was
pockets.
What was it, like $35?
Yeah, I think it was around £30, something like that.
Okay.
So not cheap, but not expensive.
So, when I started playing this, my first impression was this is kind of like a first-person Little Nightmares. Did you feel like that at all?
Yeah, it's got that kind of vibe. I wouldn't say I would say it's more cutesy in a way. Like it's not as dark themed. I mean, it's dark themed, but it's not as not quite as dark themed as Little Nightmares. It's still definitely got some like atmosphere, and there are some monsters and things that chase after you, and there's definitely tension there sometimes, but overall, I just think it's not quite as hardcore.
No, definitely not. Yeah, and so watching videos of this game before I played it, I thought maybe you controlled that little guy with the flame on his head. I thought maybe this was a platformer. Did you think that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
you already knew.
It was first person. Yeah.
So you play first person, and so there actually there's no actual, you don't even have a jump button, so there's no like real platforming like there is in like Little Nightmares. You tell that flame-headed guy, his name is Potboy, you tell him where to go with the B button, and he just goes there and does his flame thing, and that's how you get through most of the puzzles, is using him and his flame.
Yeah.
And so you walk from place to place, you do a puzzle. In some places you have to run from enemies, or you have to distract an enemy to get past them. When I first started the game, I thought it looked kind of soft, kind of blurry. And
I agree.
You did too?
Yeah.
I was using Virtual Desktop on as Virtual Desktop would say, Ultra. And then I thought maybe I need to switch it to Godlike, and then maybe it would look better. And even switching it to Godlike, it was still blurry. So then later I went to the Steam discussions for this game, and there's a guy in there saying, "Oh, it's because it's using TAA and you can't turn it off. But if you go into an engine.ini file, you can turn it off completely, or you can change it to FXAA." And Alex and I both did that, and I thought that made it look better, made it look less blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
think it looked like terrible before though. I've heard the PlayStation VR version's pretty blurry, like low
okay.
resolution looking.
Yeah,
I
when I
mean,
was
I
trying
was
to get
cranking.
videos of this, there when people were playing the PSVR 2 version, the videos, yeah, it looked I was like, "Whoa, that looks really blurry."
Yeah, because I actually was tempted to get it on the PSVR 2 because there's a gameplay mechanic where you have to kind of like close your eyes to like listen for sounds and things, and with the PSVR 2 version you literally actually close your eyes because obviously with the eye tracking it
Yeah.
tells when you can tell when your eyes are open, which I thought just sounded like a really cool mechanic.
Mhm.
Um, but then as soon as I read like people saying it was blurry, I was like, oh, I'll just stick with the PC version. It's fine.
Yeah, on the PC you hold a like left trigger. Was it left trigger maybe to close
Yeah,
your eyes? Yeah.
left trigger. Yeah,
Yeah, so one of the very early puzzles they have you close your eyes and with the left trigger, and then you have to listen for something like, and that's where you need to go in that direction. And for that particular puzzle, I really struggled. I could barely hear anything, and I couldn't really tell where to go. It took me a while to realize where I needed to go, and then once I got there, I was messing with the thing. It was like a chest of drawers, and like none of the
yeah,
drawers were giving me what I needed. Were you? Did you struggle with that?
yeah. I think headphones are really. It's kind of for that sort of because the audio is really good in this game, but obviously like if you're not using really good headphones, I'd imagine the positional audio is not going to be as good, so that could potentially affect it. I could tell which direction because it basically you're in this area where there's like a load of drawers around you all over, and you're trying to figure out which drawer you need to open. So I knew which direction I needed to open, but I just couldn't figure out which drawer it was. So I ended up opening like 3 or 4 drawers before I finally figured out which one it was. But yeah, it's a cool mechanic, but the if you definitely need good audio for it to work, I think.
I don't think my Quest 3 audio is the issue. That's not the issue.
Okay.
Because every
Okay.
other sound puzzle in this game I had no issue with. There were a
Okay.
bunch later. Like I'm at the last level in this game now, and they put a lot of sound things puzzles where you have to go like to the right object, and it was obvious where I needed to go, like no
Right.
issue at all. But that first time, I was like, what? I could. It just
I think
wasn't.
maybe it was just because, yeah, it was just because there was like so many drawers,
Uh huh.
and as well, I was finding like I was trying to pull a drawer out, and then I couldn't really see inside the drawer, so I ended up having to pull the drawer completely out of the thing.
Yeah.
I discovered actually you can literally just pull the drawer
Hmm.
completely out of the drawer, like the cabinet, and just throw it on the floor. Because but when
I
I
pulled
first
them. I
started,
pulled them all out completely, and I was frustrated as hell because I pulled them all out except for one particular drawer that wasn't letting me grab it, and that ended up being the drawer that you needed. Like I couldn't reach down to grab that the drawer that it took me a long time to finally be able to grab it. I don't know. I guess you didn't have that issue.
maybe a little bit.
Okay.
I definitely think it would have been better for it not to be on the bottom drawer, if I'm honest. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably just the way it was. It was a minor inconvenience early on,
Yeah.
but like you say, the rest of the game you don't really experience that. So
You brought up the audio. I think the strongest part of this game is the music. You
oh,
normally
music's
don't.
great.
You're not
Yeah,
okay. You're not normally. A lot of games you turn the music off and you get annoyed by it, but you agree the music is great in this game.
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
like music in games when it's done in a way that like builds the game. Like I don't like
Hmm.
music where it's just playing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Like when Walkabout mini golf, I turn it off because it's literally just it's background noise. Whereas this is like they'll have moments where it kind of like ebbs and flows and changes. And I think the sound design in this game is excellent overall. Like there's this like dark entity that kind of comes over like the just the visuals of this like darkness like comes over you, but with the sound that comes with it, it's just so. It just makes you feel like things like just from just the way that they've done it. Like the way that they've done these moments in this game is so good.
Yeah.
It's really I'm really enjoying this game. I think it's one of my favorites I've played in a long time.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. I've just had issues with some of the controls and some of the mechanics. But
Okay.
like, so when I first started the game, I was kind of thinking this might be a refund because the game is pretty expensive compared to, a lot of like indie VR games that come out. But the more I played, the more I said, "Nah, I'm not refunding. I'm keeping this game." Um,
Yeah.
but there are things like, okay, so well, I played seated. I don't know if you played seated because this is more of like a seated type of game. Did you stand?
No, I was stood up.
Okay,
I'm
you stood.
standing. Yeah.
All right. Well, that would eliminate my issue. One issue is that the turn speed is really slow, and there's no adjustment
Right.
for that. Um,
That
so
sucks.
another thing is you have a cannon, and that thing. Were you confused as hell about adding ammo to it? And then like to do so, I would get a match and strike it, and then the match would freak out like hell whenever I try to add ammo to the cannon.
I've not got to the cannon yet, so I have not seen that.
Oh, you have a lot to see then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there's things I could have said that now maybe I won't say.
Yeah, don't spoil it. I mean,
Okay.
I've played the first chapter, which is about an hour long, uh,
You
and
haven't
there's some really
done
cool.
any of the. You haven't seen the coolest stuff then.
No, I
So,
mean, the more I play
yeah.
this game, the cooler it gets. To be honest, it's like one of those games that just the world that they've built is just so good, and like
Hmm.
this, it's got so much character. Like the first time, because you start off the game on your own, you don't actually have this little pot boy, or is it pot boy they
Yeah,
call it?
Pop War.
You don't have pot boy originally, so you're on your own and you going around and you even just like you've got these giant matches. Should I
Hmm.
say just that you pick up out of a matchbox and then you have to strike the match on the side to light it, and then you have to light these candles, and then you have to light all the candles in the area to open a door, and it's just like a lot of it seems to be built around like this whole fire mechanic. And then when you do meet this pot boy, he's got flames coming out of him, and you can get him to light candles for you and light other things. And but yeah, I think overall it's better than I was expecting. If I'm honest, like I was expecting the VR side of things to be very non-existent, but it's actually it doesn't feel. Obviously, it's not made for VR, but it doesn't feel that much like it's not made for VR. If that makes sense, it still feels good to play in VR.
And not only are you first person, you have motion controls, so you see your hands in the game. So
Yeah.
I would have thought, since this is also a flat game, that it probably didn't have that, but I was pleasantly surprised. And you can hold items in your hands. In your left hand is where you'll get your inventory. You'll grab at your hip, and you'll have an inventory that you can scroll through. And then, but to use the items that show in your left hand, you have to grab them with your right hand to actually get them out of the inventory. Sometimes that confused me because like it would look like I have it in my left hand, and I would be like, all right, well let me place this here, and then it wouldn't do anything, and I go, huh? So you got to grab it with your right hand, then you can use the key or whatever it is. Um, so I came across a couple soft locks in this game, in two different places, and I read on the Steam discussion some other people did too. So there was one place where I was doing a puzzle with the pot boy, and he just would not. Like how it'll show like B button, where you can press the B button for him to to set something on fire. It would not appear, no matter what I did, and I couldn't
Right.
get him to go anywhere else. So I just had to restart that checkpoint. Then another one that was much worse was a later level that you haven't gotten to yet, where there was this guy in a trash can, and he hides in the trash can, and he's like scared, and you're supposed to be able to pick up the trash can and take it with you. And no matter what I did, I couldn't do it. And I had already done almost all of this one chapter, and I was at like the very end of the chapter, and there was no way to get that to work. And some people in the Steam discussions were saying the same thing, so I said, all right, I guess I'm just restarting the chapter. I mean, that was like, I don't know if that could have been an hour that it added, maybe 30 or 45 minutes of time that added. That really pissed me off. But when I did it again, I was able to pick him up.
Right.
So if you're lucky, hopefully you don't have that issue too.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe it gets fixed or before I get to that
but
point.
in the Steam discussions, the developers aren't responding to anybody. So I don't know if you have to go in their Discord or what. So I don't
that's
know.
interesting.
Yeah. There's some developers that are active in the Steam discussions, and there's some where they just never appear.
Yeah.
You can talk. You can talk while I clear my throat.
Okay, I mean, I'll just say that obviously I haven't finished the game. I've played an hour of the first chapter, and for me already this is like probably. I mean, it's the best game I've played. What else this year? I mean, I can't even think what else we've had out this year, but I'd say it's my favorite game that's released this year, and I just really, really like. I mean, I think you've got to be into this sort of game. Some people, because obviously it's very linear, like adventure puzzle game. It's not action.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost a lot about the story as much as it is about the gameplay. But I just think these games are I really love these type of games. Like it is like you say, it's very Little Nightmares kind of. People say like is it Tim Burton who did the what was that?
The Nightmare Before Christmas
Halloween film. Yeah,
Yeah.
that Nightmare Before Christmas. It's very much like that in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole thing's got this kind of stop motion look to it. But the world, the characters are interesting. The world's interesting. The world just feels so organic and alive. Like it feels like everything's moving and living and breathing. It's just really incredibly well made, and it's definitely. I can't wait to play more of it. I just wish I had more time at the moment.
And also, okay, so there's a lot of really good narration and voice acting in this game too. And
Yeah.
So in addition to the
Like I said, the sound
music,
design is excellent. Like overall, like the positional audio, the sound effects, the music, the voiceover work. It's all top tier stuff. It's really really excellent. And I've not, other than a few little things that you found, like I've not found really any major bugs or visual artifacts. Everything looks really polished and
yeah.
it's it looks great. Like visually, it's impressive. Like really high end VR like visuals. Some of the best graphics you'll see in a VR game. It's just the sort of stuff that I've been wanting to play,
Yeah.
and I'm just glad that and it just shows again that like having a game that's not necessarily made for VR doesn't necessarily make it a bad VR game, as long as the game is the right choice. But I just think that games like this that are obviously got a bigger budget for non VR games that are also in VR end up being some of the best games we play. Be like the Resident Evil games and things like that. They just end up being just really good experiences because of the budget and the experience of these non VR devs that can make these games compared to a lot of VR developers.
One more thing, this game is like surprisingly emotional, and you haven't gotten to the part yet that I was like, wow. I guess I can't spoil it. So I mean, but like
No, don't
you
spoil
went.
it. Don't spoil it for anyone. I mean,
Yeah, I won't. But you end up feeling for somebody that you wouldn't think you would. That's all I'll say.
okay,
That's all I'll say.
maybe like the Dark Entity or something.
No. No.
Okay, the house.
And oh, and there's also some humor in this too. This sort of reminded me of Accounting. Remember the VR game Accounting?
Yeah.
And Accounting Plus. There's some humor that was immediately reminding me of that. That's actually in the same chapter as that emotional part. So that's a good chapter. Yeah, that's a good chapter.
Yeah. Good.
Is there anything else about the Midnight Walk? I'll probably play it tonight and I'll finish it.
Oh, have you not finished it yet?
Yeah, I'm on the last level. I wanted to finish it last night, but I had to download all these videos for this podcast and get OBS ready. So that's what my night was.
What a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I put my kids to sleep.
How long do you think? How long do you think it's going to end up taking you then?
Oh, the total time?
Yeah, some people say like 4 hours, but I don't know. Is that right?
I don't know how much. No, 4 hours. It's more than 4. I don't know how much time I added by having to redo that part. Okay, right now Steam says 5.2 hours, and I'm only at the very beginning of this final chapter.
Right, so maybe 6 hours.
Yeah, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah,
Yeah,
it would
I
be
mean,
4. It would be 4 if you're just like barreling through it, I guess, and you're not screwing up at all.
yeah,
But you die plenty in this game.
yeah. Some like there's. We should probably mention that as well. Is that there are sections that are like stealthy where you have to hide from monsters and things coming at you. So, would you say this is a horror game? I don't know if like it's not. It's definitely got tension. Like it's not.
I think people that tend to be scared would call this a horror game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the sections where you've got stuff chasing you can be quite intense, and you're having to hide inside these like wardrobes and things. So it's definitely, and some like I say, like I mentioned before, like there are sections where, like when this like darkness envelops the like the world, it does definitely feel very like oppressive and very like consuming. Like the way that the world can change from just being a normal world, well, not normal world, but the way it is, and then all of a sudden it becomes really dark, and you've got this massive, like these eyes that are staring at you, and then the sound effects that come with it. It's very intimidating. It's
I
not
never.
probably not going to be for people.
Sorry. That dark presence thing with the eyes, that thing never even registered to me like as scary at all.
Really,
What?
I thought it was pretty intimidating. Like just the just that way it just consumes the world the way
Really?
it does.
Nah.
Yeah,
Just the actual monsters that are actually actively chasing me are the only ones that
yeah,
ever made me feel any like tension. And there's a monster that you haven't gotten to yet that like when you hide into, there's you can hide into little places. Well, that
yeah.
thing will like it can't get you while you're hidden, but it will shove its face in there and go and like it's
Yeah,
really close to getting you. That'll
yeah,
make you feel some tension. Um,
yeah,
and there's some puzzles where okay, those guys, the first guys that chase you,
yeah.
the
The crawlers.
the crawlers, yeah. Well, there's some puzzles later in the game where you have to make them chase you and get them to stop on specific places on the floor to make a puzzle work. And
Right.
that gets kind of tense because sometimes you have to get them to come right up to you.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be scary for some people.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, well, you're probably right. It probably is probably classed as horror then.
Yeah, it's mild horror, I guess.
Yeah.
Anything else on the Midnight Walk?
No, I'll keep playing it, and you'll obviously finish it, and maybe next month, we'll conclude our thoughts overall. But I mean, for me, it's just a great game. I think
Yeah.
if you've got any sort of interest in it, I would just buy it. I mean, I won't even make for a sale. It's not very often we get these sort of high quality games like this in VR. So.
I'll put in a comment to this podcast on YouTube. I'll put like what the settings that you can change in the engine.ini file if anybody wants to try that.
Yeah.
And
Did you remove the fog?
I tried that. I removed the fog and then I decided I didn't like it with no fog.
No.
It felt weird going from the fog and then no fog. It just made it kind of feel cheap or
Yeah,
something.
it loses the visual appeal, like because obviously the fog's also probably hiding a lot of stuff as well. So like if you
Mm-hmm.
take that out, then it probably looks very like not unrealistic and like because obviously the fog adds like atmosphere to the game.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you remove that, then you can remove a lot of that atmosphere. So
Definitely, yeah, definitely made it feel like I'm definitely in a game. Like this just feels like I'm in some game world. Whereas with the fog, it makes it feel. I don't know if it's more real or if it's just more eerie or what it is.
yeah, it adds atmosphere. It makes the air feel like more dense and alive
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. I think when it's done right, I think fog can be a good thing.
Yeah. What was it? Where was I complaining about the fog before? Was it in
Bone Lab, I
Valheim?
think.
What'd you say? Valheim?
I thought it was Bone Lab,
Oh, Bone Lab. Yeah, I hated the fog in Bone Lab. Yeah. Yeah.
but that was
Okay.
like performance season. They just like smeared fog everywhere to reduce the draw distance.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to the next game. It's your Alien Rogue Incursion. This is one of my Alien videos
Oh yeah.
showing.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this for a long time because I haven't played loads of it, but I wanted to just give a little bit of an update. When the game first launched, it had some really bad performance problems where I think you experienced this as well, where like
Yeah.
the frame rate would just like drop to almost unplayable levels, and you would just have to just wait for it to fix itself. Unfortunately, it's not been fixed, so I played a bit more, and I do really like this game. It's really good. One thing I did as well is that they've added a patch where you can turn the motion tracker off so that when you've got it holstered, it doesn't beep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that makes it better because the problem that I was having was that I would just walk around. There would be no tension because I knew that if there was something around, that way it would just start beeping on my holster. So I would just kind of like, as soon as I had to hear it start beeping, I'd just back up into a corner, get my motion tracker out, see where it's coming from, wait for it to come, kill it, and then get on with the gameplay. Whereas with this now, if you have it holstered, you don't get that notification. So then you're walking around with it out a lot more, and then obviously like if you need to reload, you have to put it away. Then you got to reload, and there's like times where you're vulnerable where you can't have the motion tracker out, and I just think that adds to the tension of the game more personally.
Yeah.
Obviously, it makes it a bit more like intense and scary, but I think that for me is part of the game. So that's one thing that it wasn't on there at launch. So if you have played the game and you want to try that out, that's in there. There are a couple of things I don't like about this game. One of the big things is I feel like the xenomorph are really spongy. Like you have to pump so much ammo into them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got this pulse rifle, and you'll end up having to waste because like a pulse rifle's got like what 100 rounds in it or something. It's like a massive magazine, and I feel like I have to use them almost half a magazine on a xenomorph just to kill it, and it's kind of makes it feel like the weapons are a bit weak. In fact, you can use the revolver, and the revolver's like 3 or 4 shots. So sometimes I've been using the revolver because it feels more powerful.
Yeah.
And obviously, especially when you need to walk around with a motion tracker out, like you're doing in this video, being able to have the motion tracker and the revolver in the other hand makes it more valid as a way to use the revolver. Because I did actually look into the difficulty options as well, because I thought maybe do I need to turn it down, like difficulty to reduce the sponginess, but apparently it isn't just the difficulty, it isn't just the damage levels of the xenomorph that they change. Apparently it changes like the actual behavior of the xenomorph, and if you put it in story mode, they're like ridiculously easy. They just don't really attack you. So I've left it on the like this whatever the normal setting is, and apparently if you turn the difficulty up, like they're really like a lot more aggressive, and you have to like really focus on headshots and stuff. So I didn't bother turning it up. But yeah, I think overall the game's great. That my main complaint was merely just the sponginess of the xenomorph, and obviously the performance, which I'm hoping that they will fix. But it's a bit bizarre that they've still not really. They've brought a few patches out, and none of them have like talked about performance or anything. So are they just not doing anything about the performance? I don't know.
Well, they're busy focusing on making the flat game, which they announced.
Yeah, they've announced that they're bringing out the game, but in non-VR, which I'm fine with. I think that's a good decision for the developers, because then they get to earn more money from the games, which means they can pump that back into more games which come out for VR in the future. So yeah, I think that's not a bad thing, but I just hope that they can maybe revisit the VR version just to fix these performance problems, and then I will definitely play the game more, because it's a great game. Like I really like it. Just when, because it happens a lot as well for me. Like it's probably about, I would say about every 5 minutes or so. It feels like it's when you transition to like a new area or something. Like when you go to a new section, it's like almost like it's loading in the game. And as it's doing that, it just tanks performance to the point where it's basically unplayable. So.
I never had it unplayable at any point.
Okay.
I don't know if that's because of a 4090. I
Could
don't know.
be. I mean, I'm running pretty high resolution because this is one of those games that is a little bit blurry as well. That you have to crank. I feel like you have to crank the resolution up because it's the same thing where it's got temporality aliasing. I think you were using like the TSR. Is it the TSR?
I was using TLS, but that was causing some visual artifact issues. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't really recommend TLS, but TLS looked the best, other than
Because
the artifacts.
I tried turning the temporal anti-aliasing, like turning the anti-aliasing off completely. But the problem is because there's a lot of like grids and stuff and
Mm-hmm.
walkways and things. So they just end up looking really shimmery, without anti-aliasing. So I left it on. So then I'm ended up like cranking the resolution up to try and compensate for that. So maybe that's a factor. Maybe if I try and turn I might play around with it actually. Maybe try and see if anyone's got any tweaks or anything. See if I can make it look better without running such a high resolution. So maybe that's my thing I should look at.
So you're cranking up the
But it's a good game.
resolution in the games menu or in Steam VR?
Just Steam. I mean, I'm not. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running basically 3,500 per eye.
Do you know what percent that is?
In Steam VR, it's 100% because
Oh,
for
it's
some
100.
reason with the PSVR 2,
Mm-hmm.
like it's set. Like if you run they recommend. You know they have that little line where there's like their recommended setting.
Yeah.
Their recommended setting is 150% super sample, which is over 4K per eye, like, which is
Wow.
just insane because virtually nothing can run that sort of high resolution. So I have to actually turn it down. Or
I don't know if I showed this before, talking about Alien, but if you look, I just paused it. All this white flash on the right side. This is the type of thing I kept seeing with TLS on, and when I turned TLS off,
oh,
I wasn't getting any of that.
right, okay,
So, and then there were
interesting.
weird artifacts I would see sometimes on the floor, like lighting or shadow artifacts that were weird. And I told this about put this on their Discord like a long time ago, and I don't think they've ever addressed it.
No,
So
it's a problem with because it's basically the TSR or whatever it's called. It's basically like a upscaler, you know, like DLSS or whatever. It's just a type of upscaler, which means it's not it's kind of like upscaling the
TSR.
resolution and stuff,
Oh, I'm seeing
and it ends up
TLS, but
causing.
that's a security protocol. Is it TSR? Is that what it is?
I think it's TSR. I think it's
TSR.
called temporal super resolution or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that. It's
Okay.
it's Unreal Engine's own like upscaling method thing. The best one was DLSS, but it hasn't got DLSS for this game,
Okay.
so can't use it.
Anything
But I'll
about
come back
this
to
game?
this. I'll play around with it more. See if I can get the performance to stop. Because someone in my Discord did say they played it and they didn't have any like performance issues. So maybe it is just my setup. But the game's
I
pretty
didn't
good. Like.
really have any performance issues like much. I mean, the whole time I played it, I could notice. I think this isn't giving me full 90. Like I felt like
No,
I felt some reprojection pretty much all the time, but it wasn't too bad. But I
right.
also thought maybe it was because I was running it through Steam VR, and they said to run it through VDXR and not Steam VR.
Yeah,
Um, so I don't know. I don't know if that hurt it.
maybe.
So do you want to
We'll
go to
see.
the
I'll
next
play
one?
around with it. Yeah, let's go to the
Okay.
next game. I'll play around with that some more, and if I find anything that helps or whatever, I'll talk about it next month.
All right. So Surviving Mars Pioneer. This came out recently. This is a survival game where you have to collect resources and craft and stuff, and you're on Mars. And is this by
Yeah.
Impact Reality or Flat to VR? Who is it by?
It's been developed by Bol. Let me make sure I get this right.
Bulwark.
Bulwark, who were
Yeah.
the people who made Genotype.
Yeah,
Genotype.
Genotype.
If
Yeah.
you remember that game.
Yeah.
So obviously this is a franchise from non VR, but the actual non VR games aren't like this. They're more like a real time strategy, like base builder type game,
Mm-hmm.
top down, like isometric type thing. So they've they've managed to get the license and make a VR version with the same IP, and they've ended up making it more like a Subnautica type of first-person survival game, but on Mars. We are like Flapter VR is helping with some development side of things, but Bolverk are the ones who made the majority of the game. It's been published by a subsidiary. Can't say that subsidiary. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Subsidiary.
you said it right.
All right. Well, however I said it before, they basically is part of. It's just the way they've structured things now, like because you've got Impact Reality, which is like the marketing side of things, and you've got Flapter VR, which are doing conversions of flat games to VR, and then you've got Impact Inked, which is like a publish. It's more publishing than development side, but it's part of the same company. So I am actually working on this and like helping test because it's early access as well. It's not a full release. So any feedback you give me, just be as brutal as you want, and I'll pass on any feedback. And so
I've already given them feedback. They have their own like board where you're supposed to post issues and request like
feedback,
ideas, and I've been posting there.
Good. That's what you should do.
Yeah. So I like this game, but you know the biggest issue for me is it's confusing interactions. I'm sure you've played it, and you've probably felt the same way. Just interacting with the tools and the menus and how, and a lot of it you have to do this phone slider thing to like you're trying to pick a tool but to pick the tool you have to do a phone slider thing.
Yeah, you have to like press. You have to aim a laser pointer, and then you like trigger, and then you like while you're holding trigger, move your hand up.
Yeah, why?
To slide up.
Why?
I don't know.
That was my first comment to them. This is the most annoying thing about this game is this phone slider thing. Every time I want to pick something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I will say that we are working on. One of the things that the Flaptis VR side of things are doing is helping them finesse a lot of the controls and the interactions, and we've got updates coming which are going to make the game feel better to play. Because the first time, I played this game they put me on this project a few days ago, and I felt exactly the same as you. I was like, there were so many things, like I was trying to do things that I expected it to do, but for some reason the game decided it wanted me to do something completely different, and it just felt so unintuitive that I was just struggling with the controls. It took me probably a good hour to finally sort of like get the hang of the controls.
Yeah.
Because it's just so different.
When you're trying to eat food, because like this, you'll need to manage food and water and stuff in this. Well, when you're trying to eat, I would bring the MRE to my mouth and nothing would happen. Well, you have to let go. Yeah. You have to let go of the food. You know, same thing with a key. To use a key, you have to let go of the key. Totally counterintuitive.
Yeah, I agree. I've said this to them about the eating. Like, it just doesn't every go of the game you just bring it to your mouth and you eat it. Whereas this you have to bring it to your mouth and let go of it in your mouth. And I even after playing because I've been playing this quite a lot for testing, I still have to remind myself, like with the controls, I still have to remind myself of what I'm doing. Like with if I'm going to eat something, I have to bring it to my mouth, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to let go of it to eat. So it's not like I've suddenly got used to it with time. I'm still having this like mental block of it doesn't feel intuitive. So these are all things that we're going to need to tweak, and obviously it's early access, so this is all good stuff that if people have got feedback, this will get fleshed out and improved with time. And I think overall, I'm not really into these sort of games, and obviously I'm biased because I'm working with the company and getting paid to like play the game effectively, but I actually think this is a good game. I think it's got a really solid foundation for something really good, and with tweaks it will be like a really good high-end sort of survival game.
Yeah, so one of my favorite VR games of all time is Subnautica. And so this is very similar to Subnautica. Obviously, it's not, at least not yet, nearly as good as Subnautica, but it does give me the same kind of feelings of, Subnautica's world in the ocean is so much more interesting, obviously, than Mars.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
still
there's only
only
so
in the
much you can do with Mars.
yeah. There's only so much unless you go like total sci-fi, which maybe it does. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm still only in the first area, and there on the map there looks like there's lots of other areas you can go to, and I heard you can get like a
Yeah.
bike that you can ride around in.
You get
So
a hover bike. Yeah.
maybe that feels like it does when you get a Seamoth in Subnautica. I don't know. But in this video, he's connecting the power systems. That was another thing I was annoyed by. It didn't explain how you need to do this. So I built all this power system, and then it wasn't powering my, my whatever the hell
Yeah, I
it's
did the
called.
same thing.
Same thing.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize
Okay.
you had to connect the power transformer to the building.
Exactly.
Like there's a, yeah.
Exactly.
We're working on that. Tutorial's going to be getting reworked, so
Okay.
that's all stuff that's getting
Okay. Well,
changed.
knowing that you're working on it, I feel much better because you know what the fuck
Thank
you're
you.
doing. Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah. So one of the things that surprised me was how fast I was running out of air. So you when you first start this game, you get out there on the surface of Mars, and then it seems like, I don't know, within a minute it's like 50% of oxygen remaining. Like, oh shit. So you have to build this circular looking thing is where you start. So you're gonna walk away from that, and then you're gonna have to build another environment or habitat where you can get oxygen closer to where like all the copper and the iron and all that stuff and the ice. Those are things that you're gonna need to collect so that you can craft. And I kept dying by running out of air, but it didn't seem like it mattered much. Like it just like everything that's in your inventory will just stay there like Valheim in like a box, and you can just once you die you can just respawn and go collect it. So I don't think there's any real penalty, right?
No, I mean, that's you. Cause basically, you have to build a base. So the first thing
Yeah.
you're going to be that your game's going to teach you is like build a base, build a habitat, build all these different stations that allow you to build more stuff and get more resources and like get a furnace which you can turn iron into iron bars and stuff like that. So it's very base buildy. Survival. You have oxygen. It's like Subnautica where you've got the air, where you have to go to the surface or you have to go to the base. Whereas this is obviously you have to just go back to your base. Or there are like canisters. You can get oxygen canisters which you can put on your wrist. So
You know
if
what?
you're
That's
out,
the canister. The game didn't explain how to use that. I had to ask
no,
someone
it doesn't.
that you have to put it on. You have to put it to your wrist because I was putting it to my
Put it on
mouth.
your wrist. Yeah.
Yeah, I was putting it to my mouth, and I was like, "What the fuck? Well, how do I?" Apparently, you got to put it to your wrist. But how would you know that? Yeah.
I mean, I figured it out, but
Well, aren't you a
there's a lot of
genius?
stuff. There's a lot of stuff where you just have to figure things out for yourself. I do feel like Subnautica had that in some ways, where it kind of pushed you in a general direction, but a lot of stuff you did have to figure out yourself. But yeah, I mean, general controls you do need to obviously be instructed on how to use things, which the game doesn't do. So this is something that's the main focus. Like once the first update we're working on, the Flat to VR side we're working on right now is just the controls. We're working on like being able to literally physically grab things rather than like everything just being like a laser pointer. Yeah. Like when you're at the terminals, you'll be able to actually use your fingers to press on the terminals.
Okay.
The inventory system will be a backpack system where you'll grab it over your shoulder rather than having to do the whole holding a button and moving your hand around. So you'll just, like Walking Dead said, you'll grab over your shoulder, you bring your backpack in front of you, you'll be able to grab things out of the backpack, you'll be able to grab things and put things over your shoulder, which will just automatically put them in your backpack. So it'll be a new backpack system will be getting improved. And then once that's all done, then the tutorial will be getting completely reworked.
Well, it sounds like I shouldn't even. It sounds like I shouldn't even play it until all that shit's done. I mean,
it's up to you. I mean, it's an early access game, so it's going to get constant improvements. All the content in the game is not quite there. There's like the Bulwark are working on more content. The game does actually have quite a lot of content already. Like some people have been putting 100+ hours into this game already. Like in its current state. It's a really deep game. Like it's got a lot of content already, and you've got a lot that you can do. But obviously, it's an early access game. It's not finished. There's still stuff being worked on, being changed, and added. So if you want to wait for the game to get more updates, do that. If you want to play it as it is because you're enjoying it, then just play it now. It's that's the early access type of game. Really, you have to just decide what you want to do.
I thought it was interesting that this launch platform, that the levers there are actually you actually interact with them like a typical VR game.
Yeah, they added that there, which I did find odd. Like they added that interaction there, but everything else is because the first thing I noticed when I've booted up the game was the fact that I've got laser pointers coming out of both hands for some reason. Even though you can't really use a left hand on things, I was still like, you've got two laser pointers that are permanently on all the time. Which is another thing we're reworking, so that the laser pointers only come on when you're actually pointing at something you need to interact with.
One thing I do
there was a lot of things.
I like that you have a jetpack with the left trigger.
Yeah, the jetpack's cool.
Yeah, the jetpack's cool. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. And we're adding a sprint button as well, so you'll be able to sprint.
Okay. What about the dark caves? Are you going to fix how dark the caves are?
We've just the latest patch has literally just fixed that.
Oh, okay. Here's the other issue I had. So I played this game for 2 hours, and like almost all of that progress, I lost it all. Because I didn't manually save. I just assumed the game was going to save my progress. When I went back to the game, all that shit I built was gone. I was like, fuck! So I saw in a recent patch, I think they added autosave. You know anything about that?
But they do, but I think it only triggers like in certain... It doesn't trigger a lot. Like you need to get used to saving, because I did the exact same thing. Like I played some, left the game, came back, and I was like, oh shit, I've literally lost 30 minutes of gameplay or whatever.
So you have to click the right stick to get to the menu where you can save.
Yeah, open the menu, save it. You can save as much as you want, whenever you want.
And I don't
there
think
are also saves, but like I say...
I don't think the game ever tells you about the right stick click menu. I think you just have to find it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably. I think I think when the hints pop up, it says like press this button to see hints. Because like there's things that pop up and... But again, we need to go through this more and more detail and like structure the whole onboarding of the game. The start of the game needs some work, because it doesn't teach the player what they need to know, and there is a lot that you need to know. But we also don't want you to be like, I hate it when you jump into games and like you spend the entire like 30-40 minutes of the game and it's just an entire like long tutorial. So we don't want it to be like that. We want it to be telling you things organically as you play the game, more than just like forcing you to do all this stuff. So we'll be working on it.
Yes, so when I went back again and my stuff wasn't there, I was like, oh, I'm not doing that again. Probably I'll beat the Midnight Walk, and then I'll probably want to go back into this game. So there aren't many other games right now that I want to play, because I've kind of beaten everything I want to play.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe you should get PSVR 2 then.
No, I'm not doing that. I do have lots of games I could play with UEVR. Like I recently bought GTA, like San Andreas, like that whole bundle.
Yeah.
But I've just been too lazy to try it in UEVR because it sounds like so much work.
You
haven't tried that, have you?
I'm the same. I used to do a lot of mods and stuff, but lately, because I don't get much time to play VR like for myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess around with mods. I want a game that I can just load and play. Mm-hmm. And the problem with mods is that you inevitably do end up spending a bit of time like fucking around with them, especially with UEVR, because it's obviously like more like a framework for everything. Like this, I want to play Ace Combat 7 because that works with UEVR. But to get it to work, you have to download a bunch of mods and do a bunch of stuff just to get it to work properly. So it's kind of I literally own the game. I want to play it, but I just can't be bothered. By the time I finally get around to playing a game, I don't want to be bothered about spending how much time, getting the game working before I can even play it. So
you want to go to your next game, Behemoth?
Yeah, we can go there.
Okay. So I beat Alien. I beat Alien and Behemoth in December. So now we're talking about these games, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, I'm catching up. I'm trying to catch
Yeah.
up. But I was playing Alien. Alien was my first choice that I wanted to play, but
Okay.
obviously because of the performance, I was like, okay, I'll just put that to one side for a minute. So I came back to Behemoth, and I really like Behemoth. It's really, really good. I think it's got some problems, like some clunkiness, some jankiness, but there's just something about this game, like the sense of adventure, like the overall feel of the game. It just feels really satisfying to play, and I've finally got through the first Behemoth, which
Oh my God.
I know you
The one
talk.
on screen right now?
Yeah, the one that's in the snow with a giant ball.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
So wait,
it's
you haven't gotten to the second behemoth?
no, not yet. That's the
Wow.
flying one. I've seen it flying around, but I've not got to it yet.
Man.
But yeah, the first Behemoth, it unfortunately, it is what you said, where it's
Hmm.
just like really frustrating.
And you're playing it after the patch where they tried to like fix it. I played it before all the
Yeah,
patches. Yeah.
it's 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 a shame because like it's so impressive. Like when you're in this world and you've got this huge it's. I mean, you can see it on a flat screen. It looks big, but when you're in VR, it's just so massive. Like it's really intimidating, and like it's got this massive ball, and sometimes it slams this ball that's on a chain down and next to you, and like it really. There's been a few times in these fights where I'm like, holy shit, when something happens and like it stomps down or it does something or it falls on you or it's because it's such a massive thing. It just gives you these literal holy shit moments where you're literally out loud like you're like, oh crap, like just the problem is that it just feels a bit clunky.
Hmm. The
I
climbing.
think one of the big problems is the climbing's one of them. I actually tried turning it because they've got a patch now where you can turn the stamina off.
Oh.
Because but the problem is that it only turns off stamina during fights.
Okay.
So when you're climbing, the stamina's still there. And the problem I was having is like it was a good time actually because it's on the screen now. Is when you're trying to climb up, you have to climb up the side of the thing, and then you have to like hit this push spot thing with your sword. And for some reason, every time I would climb up, I would just get there. I would just get my sword out, and then my stamina would run out, and I'd fall down. And that happened to me so many fucking times. It drove me nuts, which is why I ended up turning the stamina off. But then I found out after, like, oh, that don't even do anything. Another thing is like when it stomps down at you, it feels like it's really hard to avoid that stomp. What I found
Yeah.
out actually is that when it puts its foot up, there's like a red glint, like
Hmm.
that when it's just about to. If you dodge, just if you wait for that and then dodge, it doesn't hurt you.
Even if you're
It doesn't make any
like,
sense.
even if you're like right
Yeah,
under the foot.
yeah. Even if you're right next to it, it won't hurt you.
Wow.
But if you can be like, you can see it foot go up, you can try and get away as fast as you can, and you'll still get hit even though you feel like you're miles away from the thing.
Yeah.
But yet, you just wait for this glint and then move and dodge. It's fine. You don't get damaged. So as soon as I figured that out, that was like okay. And it's the same with the ball and chain thing. Like if sometimes he'll throw that at you, if you wait for the red glint and then do it just after, that's when you don't get
Okay.
hit. And I also found it a little bit confusing as what I need to do. Like there's this bit where you have to pull it down on this big spike
Yeah.
and then it gets back up again and then I'm like, oh okay, and then I'm like pulling it back down. I must have pulled it down like 3 or 4 times and it still wasn't dying. I didn't realize that I needed to then go
Then
and do something else, and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this boss
So
was, I think, the hardest boss, like, just because of the frustration of all of them. Like, even like the final boss,
really,
I had an easier time with than this boss.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think a big problem as well is that it's such a big area, but your
Hmm.
movement isn't really that fast. So it feels like because you have to get to its leg, but then because it's so massive and because the area is so big, it feels like you're taking ages just to get to the leg. And whilst you're trying to do that, the thing's moving around. There's this big chain thing coming around, so it just feels kind of like awkward where you're just really just struggling to get to the places where you need to do.
Yeah.
Um,
And you don't. Yeah, you
so
don't move
yeah, it's
fast
good.
enough.
Yeah, it's good to know that that's the most like shitty one because it would be disappointing if the others were the same. I've heard that the second one, which is like the flying one, apparently that's really good fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
It was
But
janky,
on the
but
pod,
maybe they've made it. I'm sure they've made it better. Well,
yeah, I'll
I
try.
should probably not show this because this is the flying one. So
Was
you
that the?
probably
Oh, is this showing all the behemoths? Yeah, don't show
yeah.
me this
This
then.
is a video that shows all the behemoths. Yeah, so we'll just go back to
Okay.
the
Yeah, I'm not got that far yet. I just think the world though overall, like, because you start in this snowy world, and then you like the second one, you're in this big, you're trying to get to this big tower, and there's this flying thing, and I just think the world looks incredible. Like, it's visually amazing graphics. They fixed all the performance issues. It performs really nicely now. Um, the combat in between, what you're going through, and you're just fighting like these more normal kind of dudes. The combat can get quite clunky and janky at times, but it's not terrible. I really enjoy like the grappling hook.
I feel like you haven't gotten to the second behemoth, so you just haven't done enough of the game yet. Is my honest opinion.
Really,
Yes.
I think for me, once I got to the once I got the like the what's that bow and arrow, like there's the bow and arrow which is like infinite ammo.
Yeah.
Once I got that, the game, like, the combat became much more satisfying for me because I could use
Mhm.
the bow and arrow rather than melee more. And it's even introduced like sections where you can like dash behind cover, and you've got people firing bows at you and you're firing bows back at them. To me, that feels super satisfying. It's really fun. So maybe it leans back into more melee combat again, and maybe I won't enjoy it as much. But as it is at the moment, I'm enjoying
No, I did
overall the
bow. I
combat.
just did constant tons of bow. I didn't do much melee. I would
Yeah,
do melee if I like was in a real bad situation, I guess.
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
what I mean. Like, I think
Oh,
the bow and arrow helps the game
I
become more
remember
fun.
now. So I did the bow a lot. If an enemy had a bow, I was doing tons of bow and arrow. But
Yeah.
anytime I was dealing with, melee people coming up at me, I used a double-handed giant axe, and I was just slicing
Oh
through them
yeah,
like
you
like
said.
butter. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, and plus you've got that kind of like rot ability where you can like become powerful, which helps as
Yeah.
well. So there's like if there's an enemy, if the enemies that haven't got loads of armor on, they're actually really fun to kill. You can just like stab them in the head and they die pretty quickly. It's the armored guys that are kind of a bit clunky because you can't really they don't really have like weak spots and things. You've got to just like really just bash the armor off,
Yeah, and
and it
that's
can
when I
just get
did.
really
That's when I did the scream thing,
yeah.
whatever. That's
I
when
would
I
do
just did
that,
that.
and I would just like yeah,
Spam them.
I would
I
just
just
do that
spammed them.
and just spam them, yeah, and you
Yeah.
can just like take their armor off and take the. So there is like, it feels almost like you're having to work around the jank in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why I'm enjoying it more because I've figured out ways to work around the jank. But yeah, I think it's a great game though.
I
I don't think it's
still don't like it. I still don't
really.
like it. No, I never.
Oh,
And there's no
it's
point
a
in me
shame.
playing this game, and I beat it. There's no point that I like this game. But I played. I did all that before they've patched it. Like I think they
Yeah,
patched it when I was like toward the very end of the game. Um, so I just I don't like it at all. I love Skyrim in VR. This game, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. Uh, all it has to me is these giant boss battles. That's like the only thing I sort of liked. All of the in between combat and stuff was just like so boring to me. And I remember saying to you, I don't know if part of it is that the music in this game isn't good. It's not memorable. It's not good at all. And maybe I need that to help me through a game. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I can't really think about the. I don't really know about the music, but yeah, I just like this game. I
You
just
take
like the
your
vibes.
you take your time going through games, whereas I just fucking barrel through them like
Yeah, I
fortitude
mean,
through that
you
wall.
just pick a game and you play it until you finish it, even if it's
Yeah.
frustrating, which is not how I play games. Like if I, like I've taken a break from Metro Awakening because
Mhm.
I'm at that point where in that labyrinth with the fucking light and everything, and it's like, well, I'd rather just play something else and come back to it later.
Mhm.
Whereas you would just keep going and going and going until you finish it. So different play styles. I like to flick between different games and take my time, and maybe that's affecting your enjoyment. So
Yeah, but I can't do what you do though, because I would, yeah, I'm just gonna forget everything I did. I'm not even gonna know like what the story was or what was going on, or like I would forget it all. Uh,
yeah, that is a
but
problem with this game with Behemoth actually, because there is like a lot of different controls and stuff, and so it took me a little bit of time just to get back into the flow of how everything worked. Like the grappling hook, I kept using that and forgetting how you, because you can kind of reel yourself in, and I
hmm
kept forgetting how to do that and things. So I do understand what you're saying. Like some games, you forget how things work, and it can be a little frustrating.
all right. Oh, I'm showing. Oh, we're doing. I sorry. The the dragon video was playing. Sorry, but it didn't show the like. That was only the very beginning of the dragon. It's not
It's
even.
fine. Don't
I
worry
think
about it.
it's. I think it's actually a bat. It's a giant bat, is what it is.
Right.
But
It should have been a dragon though. That would have been cool.
yeah. So should I go to the next game?
Yeah.
All right. Vertigo 2's DLC Into the Aether or Ether or whatever. This is how it starts. You play as Brian, the old guy from Vertigo 2, and you're landing on the moon. Now I wasn't sure why, but this is how it starts out. You end up landing on the moon, and you have to fight some enemies there. There's this weird floating triangle guy with a cowboy hat. You know, it's Vertigo 2. It's gonna be weird. There's
Yeah.
there's there's weird stuff going on, and um, you end up fighting sort of some sort of a mid boss here. Um, you get this gun. There's a new gun in this where it shoots really fast, and it's sort of like a Tommy gun. It has this circular thing that, and it has these little antenna in the front. I can't remember what this gun's called, but that's like your primary gun for a lot of the game.
Yeah.
And this is only $9.99. I couldn't tell you how long it took me, but it took me long enough that I was like, this is definitely worth $9.99. Like you could beat this really fast if you were, I mean, if you were like a total badass. There's like a guy on YouTube who beat this game in an hour and something, but he had to have already beaten it. There's no way you could do that fast. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, what am I gonna say here? So you land on the moon and you work your way into this some sort of compound. Oh, and you fight one of these guys. Remember these guys from Vertigo 2? Or there was a guy that sort of looked like this in Vertigo 2. You fight one
Yeah.
of these guys with the glass dome.
Yeah. The big like armored like mech type
Yeah.
things.
Then I don't know, you talk to some guy and you go through some sort of portal that takes you to this strange labyrinth. Um,
Right.
and okay, now most of the game is in this labyrinth. And once I got here, I got very confused because there's no map or anything. You're just going around wondering where the hell do I go now? And I even put a post on the Steam discussions saying like I don't get the DLC. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. I think I've gone everywhere and I'm not finding anything. And this one guy had to be like, all right, there's this one room, and it was a very obvious room that he was pointing out. So go to that room, and then there's a door to the left. You have to go through that door and then go down a hallway and then go to this door on the right, and then you'll find the thing you need. So apparently there was this one room where like there's multiple doors, and I tried all the doors except that one door. And that's going to happen to you a lot in this game. Where you thought
Yeah.
you went everywhere, but you missed the door. So I went to that door, and then I figured it out. You know, like I ended up getting the the Void Grappler, which is that grappler thing that lets you, swing across gaps, and you have to use that at the end of the game to beat the final boss. And once you get to this labyrinth, you can fight the final boss immediately. I don't know if you saw that big door earlier in this video on YouTube.
Right.
Well, you can go through that door and fight the final boss immediately, but you're going to get your ass handed to you, because I tried it when I first got there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I was like, all right, let me just go in this door and see what's in here. Got my ass handed to me, and I figured, all right, well, there must be something I have to do before I get to this guy. So, yeah, there are items you need to get. There are rings, like rings that you wear in your hand, that you can find in this labyrinth. And from what the game doesn't explain it to you, I don't think, but somebody on Steam told me that the more rings you get, the more, maybe like the more life you get and the more powerful you are. So the more like hits you can take. So like the more rings you find, the better. But I guess maybe you don't have to find the rings, but there are other things like that Void Grappler you have to find. And there's another thing called a deflector. So like you can deflect enemy shots away from you with the deflector. You have to find that. And if you like mazes, you'll like this. If you like Vertigo 2, you'll probably like it. It's only $9.99. And the Void Grappler, though, when I first started using it, I found it difficult to use because there's no reticle. There's nothing on screen letting you know where it's actually pointing. So often I would miss where I was actually trying to grapple to. But I got used to it eventually. I'm not sure what else I can say about it. There's a lot of these a lot of these aliens that you're seeing. There's a lot of those things, but then there's some aliens that are sniper aliens that will they'll kill you in one shot with their sniper shots and what. I mean, then there's like some kind of mid-boss type of stuff. The final boss, I won't spoil the final boss or anything. I don't know. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was just is it good? And like, did you enjoy it overall?
I enjoyed it more than Behemoth. Yes.
More than well, that's fine.
What'd you say?
That's fine.
That's
enjoyed
fine.
It more than Behemoth.
I liked it more than Behemoth. I don't like this as much as Vertigo 2. Not even close. But this is $9.99. I don't regret that at all. It's worth it. If it was $20, I would say no. But at $9.99, yeah.
I've seen kind of mixed reviews. Like some people kind of hate it. Like I think it's a whole labyrinth thing, and
yeah, if you don't like mazes, you're not gonna like it. No way.
Is it? Does it look like this basically through most of the game? Then, like it's just this labyrinth. That looks the same.
It's the moon, and then basically it's the labyrinth, and it looks it's pretty much. But once you get to, I mean, I'll go forward a little bit in this video. See, there are these things. This is a different room, and these things on the ceiling, you can grapple on those.
Right.
This looks a little different. So
yeah.
I mean, but you can see it's a lot of these same types of enemies. And here he is grappling. And this, I struggled with this quite a bit. Like getting this to line up right. Like, yeah, I don't know. He's about to die maybe. He's struggling in the video. And this guy in the video, I think he's one of these people that beat the game, in like an hour and something.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll pick it up at some point maybe. Yeah. I've just got other stuff I want to play. And if the reviews were like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, I would have picked it up. But because it was such a mixed,
it's definitely not the best thing ever. No.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. You're just gonna be confused a lot.
I've heard it's also very hard.
It's pretty hard.
Way harder than
Yeah. So the final boss difficulty is it's up there with the final boss of Vertigo 2.
Yeah, which was a tough boss
Yeah.
fight. I never actually finished it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to the final boss and then you're like, I think I've had enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
pretty much.
that's the way I felt when I was playing that final boss. I was thinking, I think I have to just quit. I don't know if I can do this. And it was just like, yeah, I was just like, one more attempt, and then I somehow did it. I don't know. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I ended up having to teleport. Like, I don't want to teleport, but I think that's what I had to end up doing. Teleport to get past that boss.
yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I never tried to pull those things off the wall. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
So they blow up, huh?
the explosives. It's cool.
Yeah. All right, you want to go to the next one?
Yep,
It's Dungeons of Eternity. We played this with Ivan,
yep.
and I guess they've had updates. There's like new weapons and new enemies, and there's traps now.
Yeah, it feels a lot more updated since we last played it. Like, there seems to be so much more content, more variety,
Yeah,
and this is a really good dungeon crawler, like with co-op and everything. I really enjoy this game.
yeah. The only issue is there's no end game. That's what my issue with it. Like I want to be able to beat the game.
Yeah, that is something that I would personally. You know me, I don't really like these never-ending games that are just doing the same shit over and over.
Yeah,
Like I do need like some sort of goal where I can say, okay, I've finished that game,
yeah.
and I can move on. Um, but it plays really nice. Like the melee in this is decent, and the bow and arrow feels good, and everything's solid. Um, oh, we're not seeing those enemies before actually. I'm just those.
Oh, I used to see those when the game first came out, but when we played,
Oh, did
for some reason we weren't getting them. Like when we
you?
played
Oh,
this last time. But yeah, I fought them the very first time I played the game, and I don't know why they're just disappeared now. Those flying,
yeah,
they look like sort of like cacodemons from Doom.
yeah. They're like massive cacodemons, whatever you call
Yeah,
them.
the
But I mean, the game overall, it's a really good game. I feel like there is. It's the same with all these types of games where it just feels like you're going through the same level, just very slightly laid out differently. Like almost like it's like a tiled thing where, like we went through there's these sections where you go through like these dark corridors with a torch and you can't really see, and we went through multiple of those, and it feels like they're almost identical, but they just slightly move. A door will be in a slightly different place. So
yeah,
the levels themselves do ultimately get a bit repetitive after a while. Um, but the gameplay is really solid and it's co-op, so it just ends up being a fun game to play with your friends. And they're bringing it to Steam as well. I think it's getting a Steam build
yeah.
this year.
It says
So
Q2, 2025.
yeah,
At the very end of this trailer, it reminds me. It reminds me of the funniest part. The funniest part when we were playing was that, so the chests are some of them are booby trapped now. You'll go to
yeah,
open it and it'll fucking kill you. And
yeah.
we all got
They,
killed and we just like were laughing at it and we had to start over, but it was hilarious.
yeah, because you get these keys and there's chests, but there's not always. We found out that there's not always enough keys in the world to even open all the chests. And, like, it's obviously all just randomized, but we were like, we were almost finished the game,
Yeah.
and we're like, should we leave? And they were, oh, but we've got this one last key to use. So then we ended up trekking over to this chest that we saw, and then we went to
And it
the
was a big
chest, and
chest,
then
so it probably has some good stuff.
yeah, and then when we put the actual key in the chest, it turned into a booby trap, which killed all three of us, and we literally lost the game. So it was just one of those things where we could have just finished and left, but we got greedy and
Yeah.
we all died.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah. And that happened more. Like that wasn't the only
Yeah,
time
it
that
happens
happened.
quite a lot.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
greed got us. At least we knew next time, so like we didn't all die the next time it happened. At least.
yeah, we were
Yeah.
more prepared, but
Yeah.
it's a cool addition to it actually. I'm glad.
Yeah.
in a way, we've probably spoilt it for you, but I'm glad we didn't know about it before because when it happened, it was just such a surprise.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Or anything else about Dungeons of Eternity?
Nope.
Okay. I'll go to Gorn 2. So this came out recently. I did a video of it, but my video, for some reason, the frame rate didn't look good, so I'm showing somebody else's video. There are new arenas, new bosses, new weapons, new hazards, new enemies, new power-ups. A lot of new stuff, but the gameplay is it's basically the same exact thing. And most of the enemies look the same as the original Gorn. They're just these same muscle-bound bald dudes. But there are boss fights in each arena. So like this arena on screen right now, there's this weird tree. This is the first one you go into, and I was very confused by this. It's like a Nordic tree. Very strange. And so you just fight waves of those muscle-bound dudes, and then at the end, you fight the tree. I don't know, what did I put here? There's one boss he was gay and he hits on you, like in between the matches and stuff, and he's talking. There are lots of gay jokes, lots of gay innuendo, and I thought that was hilarious. Like he actually got me laughing out loud a few times, talking about how he wanted to penetrate me and all sorts of gay innuendo that was great. This game was like Gorn 1. This game was way too easy. I just sailed through this game without dying even once until I got to the final boss. Then I died a lot because it took me a while to figure out what I needed to do. In Gorn 1, the same thing happened. I got to the final boss and I was like, huh? What am I supposed to do here? And I died a bunch. And I think I had to look it up. Like, what am I supposed to do? And then I don't remember there were like a million heads flying at you if you ever fought the final boss of Gorn 1.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what you have to do, but I got through it. So what this game is pretty cheap. So if you liked Gorn 1, I would say yeah. But and it adds hazards and traps and stuff. Okay, there are a lot of arenas where you can just, like in the center of the arena, there will be like a blender or a hole, and you can I was just tapping the enemies into there. I was just like, here you go. And it was just so easy.
I was watching you play.
Yeah,
it was so dumb.
They're so brain dead.
This is the problem I had with the first game.
Here you go.
It's just so easy. Yeah.
Yeah, here's the one where you can let me just knock you in and bye.
They just waddle towards you. They're so slow to attack you. Like you don't even have to worry about them attacking you. You can just like bonk them over the head a few times, push them into something. It's just so. I watched a lot of your gameplay footage, and I was like, this is just the first game. And basically, it's just they've not improved the AI at all. They've just taken the same AI and just made different arenas with traps. Basically, that was. So,
and this one has
me.
This one has voice acting. I don't think the original did. So like the bosses are talking. There's a lot of talking in this game. So that actually annoyed me sometimes, but
yeah,
some people might like it. So like this skull boss is talking. Like in between every wave, he has like a whole monologue to go through. And I heard that there's a way to skip it. You can flick him off, give him the middle finger, and it'll skip it. But I tried it once and it wasn't working. So I'm not sure if I was doing something wrong. But anyway, I was entertained. So I still like Gorn 1 and 2 more than a game like Hellsplit Arena. I didn't like that game at all.
Right.
Because at least this is like funny. And it's really gory, and you can dismember them and stuff. Hellsplit Arena, I don't remember being entertained by anything at all.
No, I mean it's a serious game. It's not like trying to be
Yeah,
funny. So
and it was really repetitive, but obviously this is too.
I mean, yeah, most of these games are. That's the truth of it. I mean, that's why I like Behemoth because it's not just mindless fighting. There's stuff in between. There's puzzles. There's beautiful environments and things. So.
Yeah, you're really into graphics, so I guess that would explain Behemoth. Behemoth has it has really nice graphics, and like
Yeah,
my most important thing is the gameplay, and I don't like Behemoth's gameplay.
that's fair.
Yeah, I think I beat Gorn too. Um, what? Oh yeah, I think after you beat it, what do you unlock? I unlocked something, but now I can't remember. But every time you beat a level, you unlock like weapons. It unlocks like hardcore mode. So then you can go through all these levels in hardcore mode, and then you get a trophy for that. And then I tried hardcore mode, and it was still super easy. I had
Right.
no difficulty at all with it. Because in hardcore mode, then I could pick any weapon I wanted, because like it unlocks all the weapons, so I could just get a giant axe and just destroy everyone with it. So I don't know. So that's it for Gorn 2. We played Walkabout Raptor Cliffs with Josh and Casey.
Yep.
And so there's obviously there's dinosaurs, there's like T-Rexes and Stegosauruses and
Yeah, it's a really good
Brachiosaurus.
course. I love dinosaurs, so this was like up my street, and I
No.
thought they did the animations were really good. Um, I thought it was really that they did the dinosaurs, but they didn't make them like super serious. Like they've got a raptor, which is just like playing with a inner tube thing. They've got like the T Rex, which is really overweight and looks just like
Pregnant.
kind of cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or pregnant. And that the visuals are beautiful. The courses themselves I thought were really good in this one as well. Like the actual holes felt really nice. The way that you like worked your way up through like the hills and then back down to the like shore. They just did a really good job with this. They always seem to be able to do a lot of good job with these, but I think lately I think they're getting better at them actually, which you would expect with the amount of that made. But I think just overall, they sometimes they'll look okay, but then the holes are a bit boring. I feel like this had a really nice combo of both. It looked really interesting, like the animations are great, and the course was fun to play as well.
Yeah. And we played the hard course too, and we didn't
It was
really like
hard.
the putter we got at the end, I remember. And we also we tried to do the puppet thing where if you point you basically your laser pointer up straight in the air, if you hold grip, you'll get a puppet. But we couldn't get the mouth to move, but in some videos people could get the mouse to move, and we haven't figured out why. And like maybe certain headsets, I don't know which headset you can make the mouth move, but
Well,
it
yeah,
seems
because
like
we were using
yeah.
quests, so
Were
none
you
of
in
them were
you were
working.
in a PSVR 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, what I wonder who had it working. What do you have to have an
Seems to be
HTC
just a.
Vive? Mm, yeah.
True.
So I read that they said they were working on a fix for that, but who knows? Not that it's important. It's
No, but it would be
it
fun.
doesn't. Yeah. Um, I don't I don't know what else to say about this.
Nothing, but they keep bringing them out. We're gonna keep playing them, and
Yeah.
they're just really good value, especially like when you've got a few friends to play this game with. It's just fun. It's just a really good game.
If you buy them on Steam in the bundle, you get $1 off. But if you buy it on
Yeah, you get
Quest,
like a
in the
discount.
yeah, you don't get a discount on Quest. Um, you can buy because I bought the bundle on Quest just so I could play it on my Quest, and it was $3.99 for the course, whereas on Steam it was $2.99. So,
For some reason, I own this game on Quest. I don't know how because I never bought it. It's like
huh?
on my Quest library,
That's
which is
weird.
weird. Yeah.
All right, next game, which is a quest game, Ghost Town. I only played.
Oh, you played this?
I played. There's a free demo, a 30-minute demo. That's all I
Oh,
did.
okay.
And Casey, I bought this game for Casey. I gifted it to her.
Yeah.
Cause she makes me food all the time, so I buy her games occasionally. Like I bought her Batman, and this game, and some other games.
Did she not get Batman for free?
She made a huge mistake. She didn't consult me first before she did this. She bought a used Quest 3
Oh.
and she didn't get Batman for free. And I was like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. Cuz she like barely saved any money buying it used.
Yeah.
So this game, it looks good for a Quest 3 game. It's very like narrative heavy. There's lots of voice acting, lots of talking. So this kind of felt more like, to me, like it was almost like an interactive movie, which maybe some people like. It was like there'd be a bunch of talking and talking and talking, and then you would do a puzzle. Then a bunch of talking and talking and talking, and then you do a puzzle, and then you would walk up, these steps up to this lighthouse.
Visually, it looks really good visually, like from the video I'm watching.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't look PC level good, but it still looks very good for Quest. Yeah. So I'm waiting for the PC version. I'm gonna buy this when it comes out. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't think it has a release date.
No, they've just said later on this year. So I'm looking forward to playing it on PC because I love the Room series and I love the Room VR. Mm-hmm. It's made by the same developers, so it's an instant buy for me anyway. And it just looks. This is like a departure for them because normally they've been milking the Room series for so long, and they've literally made like a brand new IP, and they've made like it looks like they put a lot of effort into this game. So, looking forward to playing it.
And you know how in like the Room you can like see another world. I don't remember in the Room how do you do that?
You have to don't you flicker like a monocle on or something, which changes your vision.
A monocle, okay. Well, in this game, you just you hold your hand up to things, and then you can see through them. I get you're some sort of mystical person that, I guess you can talk to ghosts and stuff, and so you have special powers. And so there's ghosts and scary music. So like there's a little bit of tension. Casey said it was like sometimes a little too scary for her.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. But she doesn't she gets a little bit freaked out by demonic stuff. So
yeah. I can understand.
Yeah, I mean that made me more interested in it actually. Yeah. The puzzles that I saw during my 30 minutes, they're pretty basic.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna be easy on the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you play through the game more and more, they're gonna increase the difficulty. So.
Yeah.
We need to play the full game.
And like during these sections when like a character's talking a lot, you could still do. So this has free loco. I was doing free loco everywhere. You could still do free loco, but it would restrict your movement a little bit for some reason. Like they didn't want you to stray too far away from the person talking.
Right.
And I don't know. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it though. When it comes to Steam, I will definitely buy it.
I'm pretty sure my hands were going through everything, so like I think there wasn't any like my hands might have gone through walls. Yeah, what's the word for that? I forgot.
Collision?
Collision, there you go.
No, collision.
Yeah, I don't think there was collision. So I don't know if the PC game will be like that. Okay, next game is Journey to Foundation. This was on sale for $9.99. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I was right. So this game is a lot of talking, and a lot of just people are talking to you, and you have it's kind of like choose your own adventure, but I like those books as a kid. But I don't like this.
Okay.
It's by Archiact, who made Freediver Triton Down,
Yeah.
which we liked. So
They've
lots
gone
of
out of business,
talking.
unfortunately.
Oh, they've gone out of business. Maybe
Yeah.
this game is why.
I don't think it
Oh,
sells very well now.
yeah. You talk to people and you pick like, do you want to talk about this or talk about this or this, and then you also have this ability to sense people's feelings. So you click the one of the sticks and then it shows you if they're feeling sad or angry or whatever, and you can use that somehow to help you in your conversations with them. I only played for like 30 minutes and then I said I just can't do this anymore. I did get to a point where they gave me a laser pistol, so I was shooting bad guys, and that was
Yeah.
very basic. Wasn't I? In the video right now, it's showing climbing. I never got to any climbing. I mean, maybe the game gets better, but what I tried, I was just like refund. So and
Yeah,
not
it didn't get
yeah.
very good reviews from what I remember. It wasn't particularly great. So.
If it had been $5, I would have kept it. I would have said I'll just keep it and maybe I'll play it again. But at $10, that's where I'm like, nah, I'm gonna refund. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and he was interrogating the person. There was some point where I had to twist my arm, and then it's to make it interrogate this person properly, and I had to just twist my arm in the right position. And then these puzzles that are on screen right now, it didn't explain what the hell they wanted me to do. I didn't understand like what these puzzles were. I don't know. You'd have to play the game to see what I mean.
Yeah.
And I guess that's all I have to say about Journey to Foundation. Isn't it like an Isaac Asimov book or something?
Yeah, it's based on a series of books or something. I don't really know it myself, so I've never heard of it. But some people like the books.
Okay. You beat the House of DaVinci VR, right?
Yeah.
I haven't. Here's a game you've beaten that I haven't.
Okay.
I'm in like level chapter 5, and I got to a slide puzzle, which are like my most hated
Oh yeah.
types of puzzles. Do you feel like that way or about that?
I mean, they're just so generic, basic puzzles. They're just kind of annoying to do.
Like I'll get half the puzzle the way I want it, and then like to get the
Yeah, but
rest of it.
you move one thing, then you've got
Yeah.
like it just
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta move the entire thing to make one thing. Yeah, I mean I can do them, but I don't find them fun.
Yeah. That's when I said, "All right, no more of this game right now," and I haven't gone back to it. This game,
Yeah,
I, f- I feel like it's a lot of random guessing. It's not. A lot of the puzzles aren't that logical. It's just see if I can
yeah.
grab this thing, see if I can turn this thing. Some of the
There's a lot of
puzzles
poking
are,
around.
yeah, a lot of poking
Yeah,
around. And you have this wrist switch mechanic that turns on to where you can see like hidden the other world basically. It's sort of like turning on a black light. I don't really like that mechanic. Do you? Like
I thought it was
I would
okay.
I would prefer everything to just be there and not cuz like a lot of times I'm just messing with a puzzle and I forget about the wrist mechanic. And the whole time it was like, "Oh, I needed that on." And then I would have seen what I needed to do. It's kind of annoying to me. Like,
I quite liked it. I
okay.
think it's similar to the room where you had to put that monocle on and like change things, and
The
that was just
monocle,
their version of
I
it.
don't remember. With the monocle, do you hold it up to your face
I
or
think you were
what?
just like you. I think you just like press trigger on near your face or something, and it would switch to
Okay.
a different view.
Well, if you could actually hold it, I would like that more versus just like a switch.
They
Like,
had that in was it Shadow Point where they
yeah,
had the magnifying glass and
yeah.
you
I
like
like,
hold it over things.
and I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought that
cool.
was cool. Okay. Well, I mean, eventually I'll get past the slider puzzle. That puzzle in the globe with the war puzzle, I hated that.
Yeah,
But I got through it.
Yeah, there were definitely some puzzles that were like, oh, I just can't. I just want to get through this.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not as good as The Room. It doesn't feel as intuitive. Like some of the puzzles are very much just trial and error, just like poking around, just trying to figure things out. So visually, it looks nice though, and I do like most of it. I think it's good, but there are definitely some frustrations where I'd use the hint system way more than I wanted to, just to get through certain puzzles, which were just annoying. So.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'll go to upcoming games. All I have is 4 here. Out of Sight VR,
Okay.
May 22nd on PC. Zombie Army VR, May 22nd. That's all platforms. F125 is May 30th on PC. Alliance Peace Fighter, June 4th on PC. Have you heard about that?
No, what's that?
Okay. Well, we'll get to it. I mean, did we already show this trailer? We probably did. This
Yeah,
Out
we
of
showed
Sight.
that one last time. Yeah.
Yeah, and this one's like it looks like Little Nightmares. Yeah.
It's like a cutesier version of Little Nightmares, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. And we showed Zombie Army. This might be a disappointment based on what people have said that played it early, but
Yeah,
maybe they fixed it.
they've brought out. Yeah, we'll see. It's got co-op. I think it's got co-op, isn't it? So that's the main thing that I'm interested in.
Then
Co-op
F1
makes things more fun. So
F125. Did you ever play the other F1 games in VR?
I played one of them, F123 maybe, I can't remember, and it was really really blurry, like
TAA.
very blurry. Yeah. No matter what I did, I couldn't get it to look great.
And then
performance was
WRC had
bad.
the same problem, right? But you were able to fix that, I thought.
I got it looking better, still not perfect. I still want to try it with virtual desktop just to see if that makes it look better. But I never got it like to a point where I was like, this is exactly how I want it.
I bought WRC, but I haven't tried it yet. And I still have my racing wheel thing set up untouched that I need to finally...
That might give you a good reason to use it. So.
But I just... every time I think about it, I don't want to hook it up and then probably have to worry with getting it working. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the mods thing. Like you just want to play a game. You don't want to be spending time setting things up and just like messing around.
Yeah. All right. So here's this Alliance Peace Fighter coming out June 4th on PC. This I don't know if this is like X-Wing or it looks like it's kind of trying to be like a 90s type of thing. I don't know if it's Star Fox-ish or what.
Yeah, it looks kind of cool actually.
Yeah.
I always get bored with these like fighter games though. They just get a bit repetitive.
Yeah, I played the Star Wars one once and never again. And that's when I'm like, I should probably go back to that. Yeah.
I played quite a lot of that, but then I just got to a point where I was just like, okay, I'm bored now. I just stopped playing it. So.
Hey, what was it called? Squadrons?
Star Wars Squadrons, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't know of anything else coming out soon. Do you?
I don't think so. I think we've had a bit of a flurry.
Mm-hmm.
We've obviously had a few new things come out this month, which has been decent. Next month is looking a bit dry, but sometimes stuff just comes out of nowhere. So we'll see. I think generally summer is a bit more of a quiet month for releases, and then obviously everything decides it wants to come out at the end of the year. So we'll see what happens. But there's been no like Oculus or Meta like games thing. Don't they normally do like a games showcase? I don't think they've had one this year, have they? So maybe are they not doing one this year?
I don't know. Maybe they're all they care about is AR now, and their little Ray-Ban glasses. I don't know.
Oh, apparently, did they have one in March? I'm just googled it now. Looks like they had one in March. I can't remember. Oh, that was just a VR game showcase. VR game? You know the Jamie Feltham thing.
Mm-hmm. I saw some notification for an upcoming VR showcase. It might be an upload one. It might have been something else. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. Normally we have like a big meta one, like with all the big game releases, but I can't see anything in the news about one. So nothing that we know of. But we've had a few good games, and I think there's more coming. There's always stuff we don't know about. Like Hitman came out. When did Hitman come out for PSVR 2? I really want to play that actually, but I'd have to buy it. So and I already own a PC.
I'm on a site saying MetaQuest Gaming Showcase begins June 1st, but I don't know if this is like an old thing or a new one. It says check out this event in the Meta Horizon mobile app.
Oh god. Expand the third annual Mesa Game.
Oh, that
June. Oh yeah, it does there. Begins
But
June 1st.
I see 2023.
Oh, it's old. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Looks like they've not got a new one then. Looks like it was last. Oh yeah, I'm showing me June 2023 in the YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's usually around this time of year, and looks like they've not got one.
I'm gonna look up upload because I swear I saw something, but I mean, a lot of times uploads aren't great.
No, uploads have been terrible. Like they've really done some bad showcases. I think the new ones that Jamie Feltham's doing are a lot better. Like they've been a bit more selective.
This site says
the game's a bit better.
Upload site says July 11th, so that's not soon.
No, there's nothing. We'll see. I'm sure there's some stuff coming out soon.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna play the Midnight. Oh wait, no, I'm not gonna be able to play it tonight because I'm gonna be busy. You know what I'll be doing.
Oh.
You know what I'll be doing.
Yeah. I know what you'll be doing.
Maybe I'll be playing Quest with Casey.
Yeah. Of course.
That's what we'll be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll play the Midnight Walk tomorrow. And maybe after that, I will play Surviving Mars Pioneer. And I'll save my game this time.
Yeah. Make sure to save.
Mm-hmm.
Save as much as you want. And let me know what you think.
Okay.
Maybe next month we'll talk about it some more. Because it's a massive game. Like there's so much content already. So you can put 100+ hours into that game.
Have you ridden the bike?
No, not yet.
No, okay.
I'm still grinding through because it puts a lot of you have to make a lot of these different stations.
Yeah.
And each station does different things, and then each station requires a lot of mining. So the start of the game is very grindy.
Yeah. I made a whole wall of 10 stations, and then when I did my save, loaded it. I have one station. Oh, great.
Oh,
the original blueprint or workbench. Is it called workbench? Maybe it's workbench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do tend to when you've done it already, you tend to get things a lot quicker once you know what you're doing. So you won't take you as long.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I guess that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for watching and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya. Bye.